All right. It is my privilege to have Sean Lane share what he's worked on, maybe why he worked on it. Sean, I'll let him tell his story, but no, I'm going to tell a little bit. Is he's using JobScan, likes it, uses AI, and he realized one day it's just not going to work anymore. His program's going to be over, or it is over, but he's using it until it doesn't work any longer. So he decided to create something for himself, and then wants to share with all of you. So Sean, it's all you.
Yes. So that's exactly what happened. I've been using JobScan for quite a while and love it. And I go back and forth between resumes and job descriptions and stuff like that. But lately it's been glitching just a little bit, and it might just be the Wi-Fi I was on. I don't know. But it made me come up with something I wanted to make because I know it's going to be gone at some point. Hopefully, I'm gone before that happens. But I decided to make a few things. So I'm going to share my screen and there we go. So you guys see my email right there?
Yeah.
Everything's good? Okay. So first off, I'll just go through this real quick. Let me minimize that out of there. Okay. So there's three tools on here that I made, and then I have a fourth one that I will share as well. But basically, what I'm using for AI and job scan and everything like that is resume keyword matching, cover letter fit checking, network target finder, and what I built were things that can run in your browser, but there's no cost, no sign in, and nothing gets uploaded to the internet. You can use them when you're offline or online, does not matter. So, and they're premium services that we use through JobScan, but when the subscription runs out, you got to pay money for all these. Whereas I just built these just in case that runs out and I can't use them anymore. So that's what I have is check your resume against postings. Um, and the good features sit behind the subscription, right? So a subscription can lapse, free trial ends, card expires, or the budget just isn't there right when you need it most. So the need doesn't stop. You can always use these, even if you get laid off later. These tools are free that I built, and they are shared with everybody here, but Steve can share them again if we need to. So, three tools on this PowerPoint is the resume keyword match tool. So you basically upload, and I'm going to show you how to use these, but compares your resume to a job posting and flags the missing or underused words and like JobScan, but this one is free and you can use it before you apply, put it in. Anything you're missing, you can add in. Um, but it'll come up with, and it's not perfect, don't get me wrong, but it comes up basically like JobScan. And then I built a cover letter fit checker and fit and tone checker. So it checks whether your letter speaks to the postings requirements, flags common AI sounding phrasing and um, special characters and whatnot, and gives you it'll spit it right back out. And then a networking target finder, which is one of Steve's favorite words right there, networking. But this does all the work for you. So it turns a company's LinkedIn profile people list into a ranked outreach plan and ready to edit messages. So first, the keyword resume. So what it does. Most companies run resumes through ATS, as we all know, before a human reads them. This tool checks the same kind of keyword overlap that services like JobScan check, but it's free anytime, no login. And it should also say right here, you do not need the internet. It is offline. So anything you put in here does not get sent online and then come back to you. Uh, what it checks overlap between job posting, keywords in your resume, whether the exact job title appears in your resume. So it checks all that for you, whether your education level meets what's asked for. And if it doesn't, you can explain that in your cover letter. How many quantified achievements you've unlocked included, and the overall word count and approximate match percentage. So the good to set expectations though here. So it doesn't replicate any ATS exactly, treats the percentage as a guide, not a guarantee. It can't check formatting, fonts, or layouts, only reads extracted text. Doesn't support PDF or pages. It uses doc, or text, but you can paste a PDF or page resume into it, and I'll show you that. Doesn't decide for you. It only adds a keyword, only add the keyword if it's an honest, true to your background. So this is what it looks like. And I'll bring the next slide, I'll bring up a example. So you've got your target job title. That's where you put that in, what the job title is that you're putting in. You can change the number of keywords you want it to check. It automatically goes to 40. And then you put the full job description in. You just copy and paste it right here, just like JobScan. And then you can click the choose file. And like I said, you can only upload docx or text, but you can copy and paste a PDF and put it in here. So you don't have to use docx if you don't want to. And then you hit match, analyze match, and it brings up another screen down below here that gives you the same result as JobScan. The only difference is this one's not online, so it's an immediate. You don't have to wait while it's scanning and doing all this. It is immediate. So I'm going to run a live demo of it right now, which is right here, resume keyword. So what we'll do is I'll just go in here, go into jobs, and I'll just pick a job. Doesn't matter what it is, just to show you. So sales enablement manager. So I can just copy and paste that. Go back in here, paste it. I'll do the 40 like it says, full job description. So just go down here. And you don't need all this stuff at the top, but I do the summary and then down through the responsibilities and required, and you don't need the salary or anything like that. So basically that right there, we'll copy it, paste it, and I'm just going to use my master resume just for the example. So then it just uploads it automatically right there. Analyze match. And right here, immediate, 95% match. But here's the things it flagged. So the target title is not found in the resume. You can add that if you want. It does require bachelor's, only preferred. It's not required. So it gives you all the breakdown of it right here. So you don't have to add that in, especially if you don't have it, which I don't. And then it asks for 6+ years. Your resume spans roughly nearly 24 years. Some ATS screens flag this as overqualification for the level. And then right here, it breaks it down into hard skills. And it matched how many times it's in my resume, how many times it's posted in the job description. Soft keywords. So in the job description, in the resume, what you're missing is red. And if it's light, like here's some other keywords. So if it's light, it says it twice in the job description, but only once in your resume. Things like that. So like I said, it's not perfect and it's just as a guide. But if that tool ever goes away, for me, I at least have this that I can look back on, and it's free. It's just click and go. So that is that one. I'll go back to here. Okay. Yep. So the next one is a cover letter fit and tone checker. So what this one does is a resume gets scanned by a machine, cover letter gets read by a person. And increasingly, that person also wonders whether it's written by an AI. This tool checks both sides. Does the letter speak to what the job asked for? And does it sound like a real person wrote it? So job description theme and a percentage score plus a phrase by phrase table, whether the exact job title is in the company. So if you're using an old cover letter, it'll flag that and let you know that you didn't put the right cover letter in the right for the right job. Word count against normal. So like 250 to 400 word range, how many concrete specifics, numbers, results, and a checklist of common AI sounding phrases and rhythm patterns. So again, expectation first. This is not real AI detector. It's just generic, but it does detect AI patterns. for a trained model. Something a plain browser code couldn't do, but this tool only flags a checklist of phrases and rhythms common in AI generated text. And a clean result doesn't prove that a letter is human written, but a flagged phrase doesn't prove it isn't. So treat every result as a prompt to reread for your own voice, and it's not necessarily a verdict. And how this one looks, you paste the job title in, the company name, you put the full job description in just like you would, and then you upload your cover letter. And again, it's docx or text, but you can do PDFs if you copy and paste into this section. And then you hit analyze. And so right here, same thing. It's no cost, no login, offline, unlimited use. So you can use it as many times as you want. And I do check them periodically. I sent Steve, I'm sure Steve was getting overwhelmed this last week because I was sending him new updated versions of it the whole time, of all of these. So show it right after the resume tool. Oh, that's for me presenting it to the group. AI thought I should have a little guide on how to do it. So cover letter fit. We'll just use the same deal. So I'm going to copy that job description. I'm going to put that in first. Okay. And then here, I'm going to change it to the title. Paste. Company is, let's see if I can't really copy and paste that. Braun Medical.
You can go down to the about job if you want to. Right there, get it right there.
Got it. Copy, paste, and then we'll choose, I don't have a cover letter for this, but I'm just going to use it as a guide. So I'll just find, I think I have, yeah, some cover letters right here. And none of those, except for this one, is a Word document. So I'm just going to put that in, analyze the letter, and just as a generalization, 40%. So not a target to maximize. See below. Job title not found. So you got to add that. Company name not found. Probably want that in your cover letter. Now I know I used the wrong cover letter. But for tone and sounds human. So this part I am writing to express. So it's in green. So that means it does sound human, according to this AI thing. So in the job description, obviously you don't want it to sound exactly like the job description because it's a cover letter, but you can use this as a guide as to what you want in your cover letter, what you don't want in your cover letter. That's why I came up with the um, theme coverage. So it has all the keywords, the major keywords, and you can address some of them or you can not address some of them, doesn't matter. The main part is this right here. So now I know I'm using the wrong job title. The company name's not found, using the wrong cover letter. But here, it does not have AI sounding phrases. That's what I'm really looking for with this one. So,
John, will it write you a
yeah,
cover letter or just check a cover letter?
it will just check a cover letter. So I actually use AI to write my cover letters for the most part. When I'm going back and forth between resumes and cover letters, I basically have the AI come up with a cover letter and a resume, but then I can put it in there and make sure it's not generic sounding, doesn't sound like an AI. So that's why I use this part right here and right here. So if I mean, AI did write most of my cover letters, if not all of them, but I want to make sure it sounds like a human. So a lot of times, if you have hyphens in there or double hyphens, AI will come up with those a lot of times, and I make sure it doesn't have any of those. Or special characters or anything like that, and it sounds like me. So that's what this whole section is. And if it's green, that means you're doing it right. So the cover letter is written correctly, but it's not the right cover letter. So that's how I know.
Okay.
So that's the cover letter one. And then down here, networking, target finder. This one's kind of cool because networking is not easy for everybody. Not a lot of people like to do it, but this does it for you. So network applications, where a real contact refers or vouches, convert to interviews far more often than blind applications. This tool takes a company's LinkedIn people list and turns it into a ranked, ready to send outreach plan in minutes. You set up the search, paste the people, review the roster, and then it generates messages automatically. So what that looks like is same kind of format here. Uh, One, the role applied to, company name. Your one line pitch is what you want to put in here. And I have an example of this I'll go through here in just a minute. Number four is rank by. So what should you be looking for? Do you want to look for recruiters, managers, peers? If you just want a basic network, or if you want to actually go right for the recruiters or the managers, you can click what you want it to go for. Background keywords is optional, so only appears if you check shared background match. Like if you want to match somebody in your same position and talk to them and know how to talk to somebody in your same position in that company, it'll do that. You paste the people, so you just copy and paste, and then you review the roster and generate the form. Again, no cost, no login, and it's offline. So that one looks like this. And I do have, I got to get rid of this here, right here. So I actually put in for this job. That one's not on LinkedIn though, so we're not going to do that. I'm going to actually go to like Onyx. Let me go back home. Onyx. Okay. So we'll go to Onyx, go to the people, and I'm not going to type anybody in, but I'm going to do this. So networking target finder. Role you applied to, we'll look at um, one of their jobs here real quick. Um, I was going to have this ready and I forgot about this. We'll go director customer experience. Okay. Company on X. Your one line pitch, which I have right here. I just took basically the front part of my resume, master resume, copy, and paste. And I want it to look for recruiters and same function managers and leads and same function peers. So I want it to look for all of those people. So now I need to paste the people in. So all you have to do is go to their main page, people, and I'm not actually going to type in like recruiter or anything up here. I'm just going to copy and paste. So you just hold down, copy and paste. We'll do this many people for right now. You can do as many as you want. Copy and paste. Parse. So it came up with these people right here. Community. So came up with these. Okay, here's your fit. Low, low. Here's a high. So he's events and experience manager at Onyx. So that's probably somebody you want to connect with. And that's the only one it came up with out of that list. Generate the messages. So here's your fit. I fit, message this guy first. And it comes up with your message right here. That all you have to do is copy and paste into a message and send it out to him. If I would have typed into here, like recruiters, boom, then copy and paste this list in, I can clear it all, or I can just go like this. You can clear everything, or you can just delete part of it, paste in your new par's list, comes up with your new list. So those two are high, that one's low, high, medium, high. Generate your messages. So I didn't have to clear my whole networking target finder. So if I'm not finding the people I want, I can just copy and paste new people in there until I find more that are high volume, because those are the people that you want to message, and you copy and paste.
So
That's all you have to do.
I have a question for you, Sean. So I see
Go
the
ahead.
message. What did that come from your about me that you plugged in before, and then did it create that, or is that your about part that's there?
So that came from like AI's tool. If you do the same thing to AI,
Uh-huh.
like Claude or anything like that, it'll come up with these same kind of messages. But yes, it is coming from my one line pitch,
Okay.
what role it is, and what company it is, and who I'm looking to target.
Okay. So that
So then,
results driven is that did it rewrite that message, that pitch at the bottom?
somewhat, yes. So I just applied to the director of customer experience role at Onyx and wanted to reach out directly, results driven. So that's when it's using most of my message to come up with a good networking message, one that doesn't sound AI driven, one that doesn't sound bad, one that's not pushy. Um, it's the best mix that AI could come up with. But like I said, this right now is not online if I don't want it to be. So these will automatically come in here without being online, without having Wi-Fi, without doing anything. It's all written into the program,
Okay.
but it uses everything that I put up here. What the job is and what your one line pitch is, and then who you're actually targeting. So if I was targeting somebody else, it would come up with different answers down here. And a lot of these are the same because they are recruiters. So the messages are usually the same to each recruiter, which is fine, but it targets what their name is and changes that for each one. So you can just copy and paste into a networking message and send it out. You don't have to think about it. They're just basic messages. They're not pushy, but they're asking for information. That makes sense?
Yeah. So will you take that message right there, you copy it, and then will you put it in a um connection to them on LinkedIn?
Yes. So you can copy it right here and go into here. Who was that? That was Spencer. So you go into here, and then your list is still sitting here. So you'd go to Spencer, connect, and add a note and put it in the note.
Okay.
And then I mean, it just helps because a lot of times you don't know who to contact or what to say, and it's hard to imagine what you're supposed to say to these people. So I was just trying to figure out some way that's easier and that I can get more done per application. So everything that I've come up with, or every interview that I've had, or every role that I'm targeting, I've found that networking has got me the interview or got me closer at least. So this was something that I came up with to continue to do for each company that I'm targeting. That makes sense? I can't see anybody, but so that's that one. Now, here's another way you can use the tool. So if you are using Claude, we know about AI prompting. You prompt your AI to do what you want it to do, and then it can spit out the results the way you want it. So if you're using the resume match tool, you can actually put it. Where was I? I got to find my place again. Okay, right here. So you can also add, just hand it to Claude. So what you can do is say you don't have to write a resume with Claude, then separately open the tool to check it. You can start a new Claude chat, upload the resume keyword match tool along with the job posting and your resume, and ask Claude to run the check. So Claude will spit that back out after it's ran it through the tool to make sure you have as much of a match as you can. So you don't have to go back and forth. You don't have to go uh, ask Claude to make a resume for this job, go back to the tool, scan it, see where you sit, copy and paste it back into Claude, say, hey, I'm missing these keywords, but I do have them. Can you make it match this? You don't have to do that at all. You can actually just put the file into a chat with Claude, your job description, and your resume, and it'll spit out a completed version right at the very end. Obviously, you want to check it all, make sure it's doing its, you always want to check AI, but you don't have to go back and forth. It will do the run itself and check everything for you and hand back the results right there in the conversation. So you don't have to go back and forth. Yeah, that's all you have to do. Keyword matcher, job posting, and your resume. Ask for the check. Claude reads the tool, runs the same keyword check, no separate step of opening it yourself. So you don't have to go back and forth like JobScan. And then one workflow, three free tools. You got the keyword match tool, the cover letter fit and tone checker, and the networking target finder. And like I said, these are all offline, no logins, no nothing. You just save them and go. And Steve has copies of all of those. I'll go to my last one and then I can open it up for questions. So, the other thing I was thinking through my job search, this one has to be redone just a little bit before we send it out, but this is a must have pre screen before you spend your time. So, not every posting deserves a tailored resume. Full tailoring, rewriting bullets, routing through JobScan, writing a cover letter takes real time for posting. A lot of that time gets spent on roles that were never realistic because the hard won requirement that ruled it out was buried in paragraph 3. So this tool reads the posting first, pulls out what's actually required versus preferred, and gives you a fast go, no go before you invest 30 minutes or an hour or however long it takes. Paste or upload, add your background, scan the tool, and check off and decide whether you want to spend the time on it or not. So it flags, and like I said, this is just a gauge. It doesn't mean it's 100% right, but the must-have hard requirements, must-have or hard years, degree threshold, nice to have, like preferred or plus or bonus, is mentioned and you can mention that in the cover letter if you want to add to your deal. But basically, you're scanning your job description with your resume to see if you want to change your resume for that job. So an 80 to 100%, it's worth the time. Tailor and apply. 50 to 79, it's a possible reach, but you may have some things on your master resume or not have some things on your master resume that you genuinely have in your background. So now it'll pop those out and you can see whether it's worth your time to add those back in. And then a 0 to 49%, it's a long shot. It's likely not worth a full pass of taking the time to apply. So casually written postings can confuse it. Postings without formal requirements, closing pep talk lines this role requires can get flagged as a requirement while real ones written in plain sentences slide into preferred. Degrees and years of threshold are not ever auto-checked. These are high two stakes for keyword guess. The tool flags them for you to verify by hand. So like I said, it's just a tool. Use it as you see fit. And it's word matching. It's not comprehension. So running it on an actual post. What the scan caught cleanly, 5+ years in solution sales, business development or account management, Montana location, ideally Helena, Missoula, Bozeman, both correctly matched against the resume. Use this for the application. What's needed for a manual read? The closing motivational line this role requires. The real requirements must be initially tagged before or preferred instead of must have. And like I said, you check this against the tool. So basically, same thing. Unlimited use, it's HTML, no account or install, runs entirely offline in your browser. Nothing is ever uploaded to the web or saved anywhere. Works on Windows and Mac. It does not work on iPhone. None of these do. You just paste text directly, upload a docx or a text file. But like I said, you can copy and paste PDF files or any other type of file. You can copy and paste the resume or anything like that if you don't have it in docx or text. And it's the fourth tool in the toolkit alongside all the other ones that I made. So this one looks like this. So paste a job description right here. And I have this one as an example right here. We're just going to type in right here. No, you don't have to get the whole job description. You want to get just what you're basically looking for. And I don't need the dollars. So we'll copy, paste. I'll upload my resume. My master right there. It's in docx form, so it goes right in. Scan the posting. So this is worth the time. Tailor and apply. I've got 100% match right here. And I use this one for an example. I actually have an interview with this company today at 1 o'clock. So hard requirements found, preferred items found, years of experience. It just kind of lines it all out for you so you know what you're getting into. If you drive the business, build the relationships, bring the initiative, that's a must have. There is no ceiling. That is found in my background. Language like preferred or plus, 5 years in solution sales, business development, or account management, ideally in records management, compliance, logistics, healthcare, government, or an adjacent industry. Those were preferred. So you can kind of tailor your resume before you put it into the resume match tool, know what you're getting into. If you have all of this, then you might as well put it into here and get the actual score, change your resume, and apply to it. So that's basically the tools I have. I'm trying to get back to Zoom so I can answer any questions, and I don't know where you guys are at. I've lost you. Stop
Okay,
sharing.
there you
There
go.
we go.
Perfect. Tara.
So,
Okay, my question is, I have the email that Steve sent to us that had all the links for it, but while you were talking, you said that you've been updating those tools. So are you going to send updated links to Steve that he can send out to all of us?
so the updated tools are the ones that he sent out. I
Okay,
sent
good.
him numerous ones throughout the week, and then he didn't send them out until I had them done. The only one that's not done for everybody is the last one, which is the scanner, because it's basically going off of my background and what I prefer. So, or what I have in my background. So hopefully, I'll have that done later today or tomorrow. I'm just on a Wi-Fi right now where my AI is not working. So I can't update it to all of the different job descriptions that everybody has. It basically only has my job descriptions. So the resume match tool works, networking works, cover letter works for everybody. The pre-screen is the only one that I'm going to update and send out, and he'll send that out to everybody.
Perfect. Thank you.
Mhm.
Um, so I have a question on the networking one. I think it was maybe different than I was thinking on the networking, but I like that. So it's how to connect with the people that you've applied for. So you can maybe push that lever if it's gone radio silent, or even if you got a thank you, but no thank you, doesn't mean that they got it. Kevin.
Hey, Sean, thanks for this. This is really great. I thought it was ironic the first resume you ran, you got red flagged for lack of presentation when you presented like two or three bomb ass things for us. So thank you for that. Just to be clear, so when you're talking about involving Claude with the whole software and the link and everything, when you're doing that, are you having just Claude evaluate your resume, or are you actually having Claude rewrite your resume based on the job description?
I will have AI, I'll have Claude rewrite my resume based on the findings. So I was doing that before with the job scan tool and AI. I would, you know how if anybody's ever used the job scan tool, you put in the job description, you put in your resume, it spits out a number and what you're missing and what you have. You can copy and paste that. I think I explained that in the last AI one that I did. I copy and paste that whole thing, put it into AI, and have it spit me out a new resume. And I go back and forth that way until I get it to where I want it. Look at the final resume and make sure it's not lying about anything, and then I apply. Whereas this tool, you can put the tool into your chat, job description into your chat, and your resume into the chat, and it'll do it all in one go. So you don't have to go back and forth. And if you look at it, if you've ever used the job scan tool, you know that you do that and you wait 35, 45 seconds and then it spits it out, whereas mine is immediate.
Got it. Okay, so that helps save a step too. And then in reference to the fourth tool you're talking about, do you do that at the beginning of your process, at the end of your process, or do you actually do it at both so you can track if the resume actually got better?
I actually do it at the beginning of the process, not at the end. So I know, like, okay, let's just say a job comes up. I'm like, oh yeah, I could do that one. I perfectly match that in my mind. Um, but once I put it in there and I see that I'm not a match, I can actually gauge on what I'm missing in my resume, kind of like right off the bat. Look at keywords or anything like that that I may not have. Be like, that's not worth my time to do this. I'm going to spend half an hour on each job at least, so I can kind of screen them out immediately and go through more job descriptions if I use that tool first. And then if it is, say a 70% match, like, yeah, you have most of the qualification. Okay, now I'm going to go back in, redo my resume for the job description, put in the match tool, and it spits out a end result resume that I do look over just to make sure everything's correct. It's not lying about anything, but my AI knows me by now, so it knows what to add and what not to add. If you're using it for that, and then I can spend the time on it.
Okay, so you're essentially using that fourth tool to decide if it's worth the actual resume or not.
Yeah. So the fourth tool is the tool that I use first now, and is it worth my time even going into it? It's a 40% chance. Then no, I'm not wasting my time because that'd be
Got
too much to overcome, too much to change on my resume, too many things that I'd have to do to make sure my resume matches. Because if it doesn't match right away, the job description, then I mean, depends on how far off it is. That's what I gauge. I just kind of gauge that and then go by that.
Got it. Cool. Thanks. This is all really helpful, and I'm looking forward to using it this week.
Okay, next up is Jason.
Yeah, very cool. On the first one, well, on the first one that you presented, 40 keywords. What defines a keyword?
So when I first built this, I had job scan copied and pasted and into my AI to let it know what job scan is actually looking for. So it's looking for different keywords in there, hard skills, soft skills, and it's looking at those. Uh, so I basically let AI kind of decide that.
But
So
I
like
mean,
I said,
how do you make that generic for everybody's different kind of jobs? Because like I say, it's not just the first 40 words in the job description. It's
right,
important words, whatever that means.
right. So basically AI is looking at the qualifications part of the job description. That's why you don't want to put in the whole thing, just like you don't do that in a scan tool. job scan. So you don't put in like the about the company, you don't put in
Right.
the things down below. You're basically just putting the meat and gravy of the job description in, and then it's dictating whether their qualifications, what experience you have, they're going according to those to match what is a hard skill and what is a soft skill.
Right. And I can see how AI would do that, but I'm not quite sure how you extract that logic without keeping the AI part of it, if you know what I'm saying. How do you keep it
Yeah, I do know what you're
browser
saying. And
only?
I went through a number of my past jobs on JobScan. So, like, because I mean, some of those jobs that I was putting in for had way different qualifications, way different experience, way different
Right.
anything than some other ones that I was doing. So I put a bunch of those examples into AI and also told Claude to look at all job descriptions, um, qualifications, and stuff like that, and add all those in. Like, it's not perfect by any means. It's more of a guide than anything, but it will extrapolate what the job description is saying as preferred qualifications and expected qualifications. It will pull those keywords out for any job description and use those in the tool.
Okay, I see what you're saying then. Yeah. But I guess the the and a, those aren't really keywords by any means.
Right.
Um,
Right.
but
And when I put it back and forth into the AI, I would pull my results like from my older job scans because you can go into job scan tool and go into your older resumes and job descriptions. So I would pull the results up, put it into AI, and I did like 10 of them and pasted all 10 of those into AI and said, I want this tool to match what this is finding and what it's pulling out of
right.
and match the tool to what this tool does.
Okay. All
Like I
right.
said, it's not perfect by any means. It is
Well,
not.
yeah, I'm just wondering if it's kind of sales oriented then, and then it might not be as close for engineering or something.
Yeah, it should be that one should be fine for that. The fourth tool, though, is exactly what you're saying. The
Okay.
fourth tool is sales oriented right now because it only has mine, but I've been working on it. For some reason, it just won't work here at this Wi-Fi that I'm using. Um, AI asked me, uh, um, this is basically for you. And I told it what I was doing this for. I said I was going to present on Monday to a whole list of people that have different backgrounds, different jobs that they're searching. Can we add other keywords or other job descriptions for those people? Oh yeah, we can do that. And then I got here and the Wi-Fi
I
wouldn't work, so I
can't
couldn't I
finish.
couldn't update it.
Okay.
But I will update that as soon as I'm out of here and send
So
that on to
you,
Steve.
you're obviously not in the trailer today, so
No, I'm actually at Stanford, and for some reason at Stanford on the
oh,
guest
you're still in
Wi-Fi,
California. Yeah.
I am. Yep,
Yeah.
yep. And for some reason, the guest Wi-Fi here won't let me use Claude.
Oh, they may have that specifically filtered out just so it's not loading up their servers or their
Yep,
network. All
yep.
right. Well, thanks a lot. And like I say, very cool tools.
Right. Thank you. Yeah, I like the fact that it's immediate. You type
Yeah.
in what you want and it's immediate. It doesn't have to think, and that's because it's not online. It's
Well,
not going online.
and I really like that aspect of it because, a lot of times I don't want to be sharing everything
Right.
up into the universe.
Right. And nothing is shared ever.
Right.
I actually tested it. I turned my Wi-Fi off and had some job description uh copied and pasted into notes that I just copied then into this search tool, and it immediately came up with everything I needed, and I was not on Wi-Fi at
Right.
all.
Right. Yeah. Very good.
Okay. Who else has questions or comments?
I have a question.
Okay, perfect.
What program did you use to build the tools?
Great question. He's got a master's in programming, not.
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm just not afraid to push buttons. So I use Claude. Uh, I was using Chat GPT for a long time, and then I switched over to Claude, and I like it a lot better. And then I asked it, um, because it knew what I was doing. It knew that I was going to JobScan, and then I was coming back and said, paste the results, paste the results. And then my JobScan was kind of getting flickery. It wouldn't work all the time. It wasn't doing great. So I asked it, I said, hey, can we build a tool like this? Is there any way we can do that? And the first rough draft of it was horrible, but I used Claude to do this. And it actually told me I won't do anything illegal. So I'm not going to rewrite programming. I'm not going to go online and check LinkedIn servers for you. I'm not going to check Indeed servers for you or anything like that because they have their own setup and own permissions. So basically, that's why it's offline. That's why the whole thing is offline because it can't go in and search for you.
Okay, so how do you export the tool from Claude?
I make it come same way I do my resume. So when I'm asking it for my resume,
Okay.
I'm asking it for it in a docx format. I didn't ask it how to get this tool out of it. It just came up with it on its own, and it's an HTML file, which the software people on here will know exactly what that is. I do not, but I do know that it's not online. You can download it and keep it on your desktop, and then when you click on it, it does open up a web browser, but it's not on the web. It's just there. That's where it has to be ran.
Okay. All right. Yeah,
Yep.
that's amazing. I'm really impressed. And one last question. What are you doing at Stanford?
Well, my girlfriend actually works at Stanford, so I came here with
Okay.
her today to use Wi-Fi. We have some things going on later in the day, but I do have a interview at 1 that I'll take here.
Oh, nice. That's exciting. Not that I'm like being invasive, but I just
No,
thought I thought maybe you were a secret genius that you
no,
haven't
I
exposed yet.
He is. He just doesn't know it yet.
yeah. No, I have applied to a lot of Stanford roles. They should just interview me while I'm here, but no, I'm just happen to be here as a guest.
Very nice. Well, thank you so much for sharing these with us.
Yes.
Okay. Who
I
else?
just saw it coming as if I ever lose these tools, these are tools that I use every day. So that's why I thought, well, if I can make one that's similar, I know it's not perfect, but similar, I could at least use it as a guide.
I'll add myself in here for a sec. So something Sean has done is when I started here 20 years ago, I had a professor from Weber State, Dr. Stephen Eitmeyer, and he would actually take resumes. Many of you, I've talked to you about this, where he'd actually take and go through and highlight all the things that you should have on your resume. This is before we had JobScan, before we had the AI. And basically, this is doing some of the methodical things that we'd actually do is how well do I match up to this job? And this is taking things like that. So when Jason, when you asked that very question, Sean has grabbed the things out of here that are important to this job description and checked my resume. So same thing, but I think that the fact is it is one of our letters. It's an F word. It's free. And Sean, has made this for himself and then still tweaking it and made it so that you guys can all use it. So I just I just say thank you, Sean, for doing this. So um who else? Who else? And we'll wrap up this conversation in just a sec here. Let me get back to the gallery so I can see anybody else.
I'd like to thank Sean for all of his hard work. He's really given this group a lot of insight to the programs that he's helped make easier for us, and I'd like to say thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you
I
for that.
I agree. I agree.
And along those lines, I actually have one more tool that I did not present here, but I was working on. If you want me to share it too.
Yeah, go ahead.
So this was my last one. Um, these are all things that I was looking at being useful in my search. And this one right here. So this is another one job title and search finder. So when I'm thinking about how I'm searching for things on LinkedIn, Indeed, other boards, whatever, uh, what roles am I actually looking for? Because sometimes I don't know. So this one is a job title and search finder. Put in your resume, what work mode you want. I want remote. I'm just going to type in United States here. And job titles to show. Let's just show 8. Find target roles. So this is just a little tool on what you should set your filters for. So you can, account manager, sales trainer, enablement. Sometimes I don't know what I'm actually looking for. Training and development manager. And it just kind of helps me go through the filters of job finding. That was the last one I built. But anyway, just for fun. And I'll send that on too.
And I realize Sean is in Stanford. I don't know if this will all be coming out today, but hopefully we'll have an updated of everything that will coming out. Anybody else before we sign off on this recorder? Because we're not done yet. So
I've got one, Steve.
okay.
I think we're a lot alike, Sean. Was the hardest thing creating these tools and creating them for us is basically kind of stripping down your personality, using Claude to kind of strip down your sales and stuff and just doing it for us. Because I've got a couple of similar things scattered throughout different AI platforms.
So yeah, I mean, I did strip it down to me a little bit initially, and then I thought that this could be useful for everybody else. So I told AI not to make it specific on sales right away, but it did look at it as just me for a little while. But then I had to prompt it to say, hey, I want to make this tool useful for anybody in this position.
Mhm.
There are tools that we are given that cost a lot of money. And some of these people don't have access to that because I told AI what I was doing. I said, I'm going to present these on Monday. I want it done to where anybody can use it. Anybody's background can be used. So I had to strip it way down. And I went through numerous copies of it and examples of it before I came out with the end result, which is what's here.
I'm kind of running into the same thing for some of the tools that I'm creating, doing consulting and other stuff that it has just because I'm throwing it into my chat that as I get in there, I might have to create my own consulting email and just to funnel that stuff that way. So just AI thoughts for you, because I think we think kind of the same way.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I did think about that for a long time on how it could be useful. But that's one of the things I prompted, early on was no, I like this. I'm glad I'm using it, but I want this to be useful for everybody. So I actually had the job scan tool, my tool. I would do the same, copy and paste the same information into them. And I came out with, a few percentage points different between the two, but not a ton. So then I had one that was way off. So I went back and rebuilt it and had it rebuild itself and got a lot closer with it. But yeah, I stripped it down as far as I could and just made it generic, but also still finding the keywords that I wanted it to find in the job description and this and that. And Steve actually played with it for a little bit too. And he had too many things in the job description in the copy and paste. So it was finding keywords in places that were not necessarily keywords for the
Mhm.
job. So once we stripped it back, then we got a lot closer and he found that too. So yeah, it's just like job scan. You just want the meat and gravy of the job description, put it in, put your resume in. And like I said, if you have docx or txt, you can upload it right away. If you don't, you can copy and paste your resume in a PDF and put it in.
All right. Thank you for this. It's great. Appreciate it.
Okay. One more thing. Is it your, if I can give any advice here, go play with this that Sean created. Go play with it. See how easy it is to work. Actually, to see how good it is, Sean already did this. I'm going to tell you something Sean already did. He compared it against JobScan. By the way, if you don't have a paid version of JobScan, it's okay. You can do a couple, like maybe up to 10, and at least see a score. It may white out some of the stuff, but it will show you the score. You'll see how well they are similar in score, and they're within 2 or 3%. So they're very, very close. So again, just another great tool. So big round of applause to Sean. We're gonna, and this is a new tool, and I will be sending this out updated, but everybody has that to play with. Go play with it, use it, make your job search easier. Make your job search easier. Okay, we are going to end this recording. Again, a big round of applause for Sean. Okay, we're gonna end this recording.